Hello, welcome back to Teacher Kenny's English for everyone. And I know I say it every video, but I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're studying. I hope you subscribe to my channel because I'm here to try to help you learn some English. Plain and simple. No tricks. Alright? I had a student a few days ago. We were talking about punctuation. And it had to deal with commas, and commas can be really confusing because there's some rules, but they're not always exact. There's ways you can change things, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But anyhow, I told her, I said, man, I need to make a video on punctuation, just a brief rundown and my thoughts on pronunciation. So we're going to do that today. Now, the first thing that we got to think about when it comes to writing anything in English or any language really, what is a sentence? All right. If you look in the dictionary, sometimes you get these really long definitions of what a sentence is, and it's got this and that and all that. But in a nutshell, just like I forgot, I was looking at a website a few minutes ago. A sentence is a complete thought. Whether it's a statement, an exclamation, a fact, whatever it is, from beginning to end, if it's a complete stop, then you'll end it with a period. Boom, period. And that's what it is. It's just a complete thought. There's nothing open-ended. There's no reason to ask for more. We know in that sentence what the author of the sentence is saying. Okay? That is a complete, full sentence. But we get into this abbreviation thing and the different punctuations and whatever. They can get a little confusing. And as an author, I will tell you a couple things when we get like to commas, because I use a lot of commas in my writing, and we'll talk about that. But the first thing is the old, everyday, the period. Bonk. And that's just, like it says in this definition I'm looking at, use a period at the end of a sentence. That's easy, right? That's pretty easy. And you'll also use it after most abbreviations, like Mr. Period Jones, okay? So period is pretty easy. A colon, guys, it's something I never use in my writing, but since it's here in front of me, we'll talk about it, and it's one of the punctuations. Use a colon after a salutation. So if I said, like, Dear Teacher Kenny, boom, boom, we got a colon, blah, 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 okay? Dear Mr. Jones, colon, and that's really how I say colons used most of the time. And sometimes you can do it right before a list also if you wanted. Like my favorite colors are boom, boom. You can use a colon, then you can list out your colors, and maybe you'll put the color and a comma. We'll get the commas in a minute. Then the next color, comma, and so forth. So that's kind of how I use a colon. Now, like I said, in my writing, in my books, I can't remember if I've ever used a colon in a book. Okay, I just have different ways of saying that. Exclamation mark. Now that's pretty self-explanatory. If I said, hey, boom, exclamation mark. Stop, boom, exclamation mark. I love you, boom, exclamation mark. So we use an exclamation mark after a sentence that expresses strong feelings. I was trying to look how their definition was right here, But that's what it is. A strong thought, a strong feeling. Boom, we got the exclamation mark. Okay? Question mark. Duh. We won't use it after a question. You know, do you like me? Question mark. Do you want some more food? Question mark. That may be the period in the question mark may be the easiest one. Now here's another one from in my English books I use a lot. It's the parentheses. And what do they have for a definition here? Okay. You use parentheses to enclose parts of a sentence that might be omitted. Now, I use in my writing, in my books, the example that you're going to see here later in the video. It says, Todd is taller, parentheses, over 6 feet. See, so they're adding this fact about Todd, you know, and it could be something like Mary is shorter, under 4 feet or something like that. And anything else, if you have like a subject here or whatever, and you're going to classify something, you can do parentheses also. We'll move on here. I'm going to try to tell you about it now, show you the examples, okay? Quotation marks. Now, quotation marks, obviously we're going to use it for dialogue. If you're writing, like me, writing a book, every time somebody's going to say something, I got to get the quotation marks out, and I got to make my sentence. And that's what it means. It's a quote. You know, quote is me physically saying something. All right. So quotation marks, you have to play with them. But if you're a writer, you got to. The hardest thing for me as a writer is after I do the sentence with the quotation marks. You know, and you got to do the he said, she said, he said strongly, all these descriptive things that when you read, you see in the book or whatever the material is that you're reading. The next one is the old apostrophe. Now, I use the apostrophe a lot, and I'll read you the definition they have here, okay? Use an apostrophe to show ownership. That's the big thing that I use in writing. Or in place of letters omitted in a contraction. All right, like if I do the word can't, you know, C-A-N apostrophe T, can't. So anytime you see contractions or you're writing contractions, you'll see the apostrophe there for the letters that are omitted. Because remember, contraction, we're shrinking words. All right. But the possessive thing, like that's Matt's book, and we got apostrophe S. Okay. So that's the old apostrophe. All right. Now we're gonna get into commas. Commas have different. We got to call them rules because it's we got to have a guideline to go by. All right. Now the first thing here, use a comma after an introductory phrase at the beginning of a sentence, and you'll see the example. But it'd be like, last summer, blah, we went to the beach, and you can do that. But sometimes I have a little argument about that use of comma, but it's a standard thing, okay? Use a comma after a greeting and closing of an informal letter. So you can do like, if you were writing an email to me, you could go, thank you, comma, your name. All right, that's a good thing about a comma. We use commas when we're writing out addresses, and you'll see the example of that. Like, here's the example here. Our family moved to Dallas, comma, Texas, comma, on such and such day. And this is the other one here. We use commas between words in a series. Now, I have to do that a lot in my writing, and because I may have something like blue, comma, green, comma, red, comma, whatever. If you are a writer, and we go back to the first example, I may have a sentence that's got several commas in it. As an author, I want my feelings dictated to the reader, okay? And since I write in first person a lot, that's just like talking. Since I write in first person a lot, like all my Beastlands novels are in first person, for example. I may have a couple thoughts, or there's something I want to imply, and I use a comma. So the rules, a lot of times in grammar, like if you're writing something, if you don't put a comma, like if you got and or but or something like that, they always want to give you like a little grammar strike. But hey, guys, you don't have to do that. If I'm saying something like, what if I say like me and you, or you and I? Let's get correct here. I'm the teacher. You and I walked to the store. Well, there's no need for a comma after and. But here's my pause. You and I walked to the store. Now, comma, but I forgot my wallet. Okay, see, so you can say something, then put that comma in there, but you don't always have to use a comma after and but when you're writing. Now, your teacher might get on to you a little bit, but if you're trying to present a thought, and it's the way you say it, the way you mean to say it. You and I went to the store, but I forgot my wallet. Well, see, I'm saying it in a quick manner, and I'm not pausing for any reason, And when I'm writing, I might say, again, like, da-da-da. You and I walked to the store, went to the store, and like, oh, darn, but I forgot my wallet. See, the comma would go there because we got a pause in the action. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. If you're going to have a pause in the action, throw that comma in there. If you want to, because when we read, we know a comma is a stop or a pause, right? Not a true stop, but it's a pause. And if we want our reader to think, let's put that comma in there, that hesitation, and let them take in the rest of the sentence. And if you look at my books, a lot of times, I might have to put a link to one of my books so you can see it. I may have commas in different places in the sentence depending on what I'm trying to say. All right. So anyhow, that's kind of it with the pronunciation or the punctuation. Excuse me, the punctuation. But it's things that you got to know if you're going to write a lot. If you are, depending on what grade you're in or what kind of material you're writing, you just got to know to do it. And believe it or not, after you do it a few times, you really won't mess up too much. Commas can be a pain in the butt because you'll want to follow the rules if you're a young student. But as you write and become more creative, you'll see that there's other ways to use a comma. So anyhow, I hope you have a really great day, and I hope I helped you out just a little bit, all right? And I'll show you some of these examples that I was talking about here at the end of the video. So you have a great day, all right? And we'll see you on the next lesson.